Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, we are talking second chances and taking a second look, in this case at my least favourite skincare brand, possibly of all time, Cerave. Now, Cerave was already super popular, but it's seeing yet another surge in popularity thanks to celebrity endorsements and TikTok videos. And so you guys have flooded the comment section asking for my thoughts and feelings on Cerave. Whilst I've covered them on the channel before, and not in a particularly positive light, I think things do change. You know, our opinions will evolve, and so I thought I'd use them solidly for a week, their products, and work out whether there's any justification for the hype, and whether my thoughts and feelings on them have changed at all in the recent couple of years. So, if you want to learn a little bit more about Cerave, and I'll share with you my thoughts and feelings on their best-selling products, keep on watching. Now, before we get into the product testing itself, I do want to call out that Cerave is not a cruelty-free brand. They test on animals to access the Chinese market. China has some strict requirements which dictate that you have to test on animals to prove the safety of your products before you can sell into mainland China. Cerave may be taking advantage in the coming year of a loosening of those restrictions in China. We'll have to see how that evolves, but currently they're not a cruelty-free brand. I made a commitment to this channel going entirely cruelty-free by the start of 2021, so I'm not going to be leaving links to any of the Cerave products below. I normally wouldn't mention them until they do declare that they are entirely cruelty-free. However, so many people have been asking for my thoughts and feelings, especially around some of the recent endorsements and the upsurge in popularity of the brand, that I kind of feel it'd be remiss for me not to tackle it. I didn't want to just regurgitate my old thoughts, feelings and opinions. I thought I wanted to try the products out to give them an actual, proper, effective test before I then share them with you, because things do change. I didn't buy any of these products with my own money because I don't want to support a brand which tests on animals, but a close friend of mine that lives just around the corner does use Cerave in their daily routine, and so she shared some of her products with me. As a side note, because there's a lot of restrictions here in the UK still, we're not allowed to go into people's houses and do that face to face. So when I called her and said, could you lend me some of your Cerave products, she decanted them into bottles, which I'll share with you later, and then dropped them in a brown paper bag outside my door, called my phone, backed away, waved at me, signalled to the window, and then walked off. What the neighbours thought was being dropped off, I do not know, but it was strictly Cerave. Now let's cut the waffle and get straight into it. And the first product I wanted to try was their Hydrating Facial Cleanser. This is the one that's getting the most hype at the moment, and my friend decanted, what even is this? Oh, this is a shower gel bottle. She decanted about half of it in, and I've used it for a week, so I'd say half of this amount lasted me about a week, using it morning and evening. I hadn't previously tried this product. It wasn't available when I did try out some Cerave products a couple of years ago, and overall it was okay. As a product, it was okay. I'll share with you my thoughts and feelings in a bit more detail. It went on the skin as a nice lather, so it certainly wasn't like the thickest, richest lather, but I wasn't expecting that, because the more a product lathers, usually the more drying and stripping it is. So I think you got a nice level of lather and soapiness to the product, and it was certainly effective at getting rid of all the dirt, debris and SPF. On the days that I wore concealer, I found that this did take it all off, though I haven't obviously tested it with like waterproof makeup and things like that, but I think it will be an effective single cleanse. It didn't leave me stripped or dried, which I liked, but I was expecting it to be a little bit more hydrating. I think when a product's badged as hydrating and people are selling it online as like being honestly the best thing they've ever used for their dry skin, I expected a little bit more. I think it left me a bit underwhelmed, maybe because of the hype that's going around it. It didn't leave me stripped and dried, so I think it will be a great option for people with drier skin types, but my skin is super oily, so I was surprised that there was still a little bit of dryness after I'd used the product. In terms of the ingredients, it's minimal. So a lot of people gravitate towards Cerave because they have very few ingredients in their products, and this is no exception. It has very few ingredients. I will call out at this point though that if you're looking for paraben-free products, here in the UK and the EU, certain parabens have been outlawed in cosmetics, and Cerave reformulated, took out some of the parabens that they were using in their products to meet with those restrictions. This isn't the case worldwide, so if you want to strip out parabens from your products, check where you're purchasing and the Cerave products you're purchasing to make sure you look at the ingredients and make sure they don't contain them. I think, though I could be wrong, that Cerave are planning on going entirely paraben free across the world, but I don't know which stage they're at with that in terms of different territories, so just check before you buy if that's a concern to you. Also, a lot of people say, are Cerave vegan? I did some research because Cerave aren't that open or transparent about these things. They often hide things on their website. Couldn't find anything that said categorically one way or the other, and again, it does differ from territory to territory. In some of their products, they do use a cholesterol which is derived from lamb's wool, and so you do need to check that out if you are living a strictly vegan and plant-based lifestyle, because you need to make sure which products it's got in and has it got it in where you're purchasing it from. Can be a little bit of a minefield, but I do want to call that out. Overall, I think this product actually was fine. Here in the UK, Cerave is a mid-priced brand. In the US, I know they're total drugstore. Here in the UK, they're actually reasonably expensive when compared to the American price point. And I'd say I expected a little bit more for the price point. I thought there might be an element of luxury to the product. I wasn't expecting super lathery and foamy because that won't be in keeping with the hydrating. But it was a very basic product. It got the job done. But I think for the price point, maybe I expected a little bit more. Were they to go entirely cruelty-free as a brand, would I purchase this product? I don't think I would. I think there's a lot of other brands out there that offer very similar things. You know, a lot of brands are going for that minimalist approach in terms of ingredients. You add a little bit of a better feel than this. I've got my stock cleansers that I love. I think cleansing should be a luxurious experience. It should be part of your self-care. You should really enjoy it. And whilst this product functioned perfectly well, did everything you needed it to, I didn't feel it added anything extra to my routine. I didn't enjoy using the product, and I kind of missed that from my skincare routine. So overall, what do I think? Well, I'm going to give this a firm 6 out of 10. It certainly wasn't a bad product. It did exactly what it said on the tin. It didn't leave you stripped and dried, but I did expect it to be a little bit more hydrating. That's based on a lot of the reviews that people have been sharing, saying how gorgeously hydrating the product was. I have super oily skin, and it still didn't leave me feeling that hydrated. So I don't think you're going to get that full hydration overload vibe you're led to believe if you have drier skin types. Here in the UK, it's a lot more expensive than in the US, and so even if they went cruelty-free, I don't think I'd gravitate towards this product, because I think there are a lot of other brands out there that offer very similar outcomes but with a nicer experience, if that makes sense, for that price point. In the US, they are super drugstore and affordable, and you get a lot of product, so maybe that will alter the opinion slightly of that. If you have to stick to a cleanser with bare minimal ingredients, then of course this could be a great option for you to go to, but there are very few people that need to strip it back this far. For everyone else, I think you can get a nicer experience and a bit more of that overall sensorial with some other brands. Now we're coming on to their moisturizer. The Cerave Moisturizing Cream, I think, was their original hit product. It's not getting as much hype now, but it certainly was huge. Now my friend, when she decanted this, obviously, like I said before, I didn't want to buy the products myself because I didn't want to give my hard-earned cash to a brand that tests on animals, but my friend, she decanted it into this, which I think at the top it says The Ordinary, so I think this might be either the ascorbic acid or the niacinamide powder, both of which I actually really love. So I think she's shading me by default by putting it into here. She ripped off the label. I don't know why. But anyway, in terms of this, I used it on my skin for the first 2 days, and I noticed I started to break out. Now, I'm not calling Cerave out for this, because I do think, even with any brand, you have to make sure you match the texture and the formulation of the product to your skin type. And this was just from the outset way too rich for my acne-prone skin. A lot of people reach for Cerave because they say they're non-comedogenic. Non-comedogenic is kind of like an industry and a marketing myth. So individual ingredients can be non-comedogenic, but when they're formulated together, they can clog your pores. So it's not really a hard and fast rule, and I tend to ignore it. As someone who has acne for days, I tend to ignore the non-comedogenic lines, because I just don't think it's really adding anything to our understanding of the product. This was way too rich for my skin. I think for people with very dry skin, this could work. The ceramides will help to reinforce the barrier and hydrate, but for me, it was a firm pass. So I started to use it on the body. I thought I still want to try this product and give it a proper wear test, but to use it on my face won't be fair on Cerave, because clearly it wasn't working for me. So I used it over the body, and I actually really enjoyed it. I saw a noticeable improvement in the KP, which is like the chicken skin, the bobbliness on the backs of my arms. I think maybe what it was telling me is that the moisturizers I was using before weren't occlusive or thick enough to tackle that texture. And so whilst obviously I won't be reaching for this brand specifically, it has taught me, I think, to go for a thicker moisturizer on the body will benefit me. If you like Cerave as a brand, I actually think this product is fine. I would direct people to use it on the body rather than the face. And again, check those ingredients if you are living a vegan plant-based lifestyle, because this might not be applicable to you. But overall, I thought it was good. It's a much more affordable product, I think, like gram for gram here in the UK than that cleanser was. And so I do think you get quite a lot of product for your money. And because it's so thick, you can spread it quite well, and a little will go a long way. So overall, I didn't actually mind this product. I tried this years and years ago, and I insisted on using it on the face, and it really didn't work. So I've kind of learnt that lesson. If you have super oily skin, this isn't going to be the moisturizer for you. If you have dry skin, it could work, but for everybody, I think on the body, it could be a good option. Overall, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Again, it's stripped back, so if you want minimal ingredients, this could be for you. For everybody else, I just felt that I've tried other moisturizers that work better on my skin, and I think this is very specific for the face, at least, for people with super dry skin that need this. For everyone else, I think a lighter texture would be better. Now, Cerave do some lotions. I did a review of the lotion a while back, which I'll leave a link to up there. That also broke me out. Maybe my skin just isn't that compatible with Cerave, which is why when people call it out for acne, you still need to be mindful that, and this applies to every brand, just because it works for one person, it doesn't always work for everybody. I found the lotions actually broke me out as well, so maybe there's something in it that's just not agreeing with my skin. For people, check the formulation and check the consistency and match it to your skin tone type would be my recommendation. But overall, I think a 7 out of 10. Solid product. The price point here in the UK, I'm assuming like that cleanser, is more expensive than in the US, so you need to factor that in. But overall, it was okay. I actually did a whole video on some cruelty-free dupes for Cerave, which I'll leave a link to up there. It's worth checking out because I had some really great cruelty-free moisturizer dupes for this that I think did work better for me at least. Now we're coming on to another product I tried, which was their eye cream. Well, this was a total disaster. Awful product. But then I looked online, and also most people say this is rubbish online as well. So to be fair, I think this is not a hyped product like the other two that I've mentioned were. This is just one of those products that Cerave have put out there, and I just don't think people like. It doesn't really do anything. It was greasy, it was sticky. My friend actually gave me the whole tube and said just use it. She didn't even like it that much anyway, so I'm just going to say this is just it's a pass. It didn't do anything, but if you read the reviews online, nobody seems to like it, so I'm not alone in that. I did a review on effective eye creams, which I'll leave a link to up there, so check that out. Now, in terms of their vitamin C serum and their retinol serum and creams, we can't get them here in the UK. So this is a specific to North America. We can't get them here in the UK, so I haven't been able to try them. So if you have tried them, share your thoughts and feelings, as you should on all of these below. In terms of my thoughts on Cerave, so I'm glad I retried the products, because whilst I didn't want to just do a rehash of the old opinions I had, I think if I'm going to share a review, I want to try the products again and give them a fair hearing. I feel that I've approached this in an unbiased way. Whilst I don't like the brand, I don't think they're transparent enough. I think they hide things on their website. They're not cruelty free, and I won't be buying from them until those things are cleared up. I still think it's worth retrying the product so you can give a product specific review. That cleanser, I don't believe the hype. I mean, all that hype on TikTok and celebrity endorsements saying it's game changing, it changes your skin, it's the best cleanser ever. It's not. It does the job, and it's not a bad cleanser. And I'm glad I tried it, because I think my opinion of it was better than I thought it was going to be, but it's not going to change the world. And I think the hype is just that. It's hype. I don't think it lives up to that. In terms of people that need the overall brand, I think if you need to minimize the amount of ingredients in your skincare routine, then it could be a great option for you. But I think more people feel they fit into that category that actually do. Most people don't need this strict and minimal skincare routine. Most people can go for some added extras, and I'm all about enjoyment. I didn't actually get any enjoyment out of any of these products, and I like my skincare routine to be an enjoyable experience from start to finish. I like an element of sensorial. I like to be feeling that I'm using a bit of luxury, a bit of pigment, but it's my treat. Now, that doesn't apply to everybody, but that's why I think maybe I don't gravitate towards Cerave, because it's a very basic and functional skincare line. That's not a bad thing, and that's not shade or a read. It just, for me, for someone who wants to look for a little bit extra from their routine, this isn't going to deliver it. I'd love to know your thoughts and feelings on Cerave as a whole. Are you a total fangirl? And you feel free to read me to filth in the comments. I don't care. I'm probably not going to look at Reddit for the next week, because people are going to come hard, because there's some Cerave stands over there that can't dare to countenance that anybody might not like the brand. But for me, I think this is an honest review of what they are. Functional, but not exciting. And I'm glad I tried the products, but has my opinion changed wholeheartedly? Probably not. You need to bear in mind that they are not entirely vegan, especially in some regions, though it can be confusing because their formulations do change. So bear that in mind. Not cruelty free, and check out that video I did earlier on dupes, because you know what? I love a bit of cruelty free skincare. This is the one exception I want to make to the cruelty free rule on this channel, and hopefully I've justified my reasons for doing that. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of insight, and wherever you are in the world, guys, and whatever your thoughts on Cerave, I hope you're staying safe and well, and I'm sending you lots and lots of love. Take care. Bye.